and welcome to the 200th episode of review. For this special occasion, we have chosen to make a review of a 1 to 200 scale aircraft, the Finnair Airbus A350-900. And as always, we start off with the box. And here at the front side, we have a very nice rendition of the aircraft itself and the Finnair branding. Then on the back side, we have a very nice image of the aircraft itself, where we can actually see it's still a glider. It just came out of the paint shop on this image. Still no engines. That is pretty cool. And then we are provided with a link by Herpa where we can get more information. So that's it for the box. And now for the 200th time, let's take a closer look at the aircraft model inside. But before we get started, it is worth mentioning that this aircraft model comes with a stand. And here she is, the Airbus A350-900 in the current livery of Finnair. Now this 1 to 200 scale aircraft model from Herpa Wings is pretty much entirely made of high quality plastic and has a lot of nice and interesting details to offer. So let's take a closer look at some of them, and we start off with the tail section. And here we can see on the vertical stabilizer we have the Finnair branding. On the fuselage we have the European flag, the full registration code of the aircraft, the Finnish flag, the aircraft type specification. We also have some really nice markings printed around the door. Then if we move from the back side of the aircraft all the way to the front of the aircraft, we can see along the fuselage the writing of Finnair. And we again have some really nice printed details around the door here in the front. And we also have some really great detailing around the cockpit windows. That looks really nice in my opinion. We have a lot of small details printed on here. Also the window wipers are there. Just above the cockpit windows we have the last two letters of the registration code, although that does look like it's been printed on a little bit of angle. Also nice is the fact that we have the emergency hatch printed on, again here with some nice details. The big advantage of a 1 to 200 scale aircraft model is of course the size, which makes it a lot easier to get a lot of small details on the aircraft. For example, all these small antennas, which we in a 1 to 500 scale would never see. We also have the different sat domes on this aircraft, and it looks really nice if you ask me. From there we can then move on to the engines, or more specifically the engine nacelles. Now they have been kept in all white just like most of the livery, but they do still look really nice. We have a lot of small markings here, which is cool. Also the backside looks rather decent, and of course if we take a look into the front of the engine we can see the fan blades, and they have been carved out really nicely. Also, when it comes to the landing gear, the larger scale is a plus, as we can see here with the main landing gear just underneath the wing. That does look really nice indeed. The wheels, by the way, are actually rollable, so if you like to roll around with your aircraft, you can do that. Then also the front landing gear has some nice features, some nice markings, although I guess they could even put a little bit more detailing into that, but it is still quite alright. Another nice feature, although only printed on, is the landing light, which we can see here just at the edge of the wing. And of course the wings on the A350 are quite nice. The really nicely rounded winglets, they look rather stunning. And the outside kept in all white, but on the inside it really comes to its fullest when we also have the Finnair branding on them. But as I said, the wings do look really nice on this aircraft. The details are really great on this aircraft. We have also the marking on the wing here on the top side for where you should walk and where you shouldn't walk. Normally there would be a writing here, but it is not featured in this case, which is a little bit surprising given the scale of the aircraft. But we have all the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out, and it looks, in my opinion, really rather great. Also the underside of the wing is really nicely detailed, where we also have the full registration code of the aircraft once more. And then last but not least, we also have the doors to the cargo compartment really nicely printed on with a lot of small details. That looks really nice here on the back side of the aircraft, and also at the front of the aircraft we have that featured, and it looks really nice indeed. So there we have it, the Airbus A350-900 in scale 1 to 200 from Herpa Wings in the current livery of Finnair. And what a beauty this aircraft model is. At least in my opinion, I really rather like this aircraft model. I think it has a lot of nice features, has a lot of nice detailing. The print quality is really good, and the physical details are also excellent. It really is a nice aircraft model. I think the only real downside on this aircraft model for me is the fact that it is all made of plastic. Now, in scale 1 to 500, Herpa Wings is actually making the aircraft mostly of metal, and only some pieces are made of plastic, and I kind of wish it would be the same in 1 to 200 scale. But on the other hand, it's not like it's feeling super fragile, so when you hold the aircraft it doesn't feel like it would be breaking at any given moment. It is rather sturdy for a plastic model, and the quality, you can feel the quality of the pieces, and that is rather nice. Now, with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. The 200th episode of review. Who would have guessed that we would get that far? I would like to take the opportunity to say a huge thanks to each and everyone who has been watching these videos, who has been following the series, who's been subscribing. Every one of you, you are awesome. And here's to another 200 episodes. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, then do feel free to leave a like. With that, you show your support for this series and of course the channel. And if you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome, and you won't miss out on any future reviews. Next time on review, we will take a closer look at a Boeing 737-900ER in the current livery of Delta Airlines. That will of course again be in scale 1 to 500. Now until then, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Thanks for sticking around for 200 episodes. Until next time, I'm checking out, and bye.